3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of We Talk. I'm Yolanda Nowell. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Monday. We have a jam-filled session for you for today, so do stay tuned for our interview. We'll be back shortly. Heading over to our website for some news. Home Affairs Minister Albert Kavanagh said the new national identification cards that government is set to introduce can be used as travel documents with neighboring countries and make border crossing easier. Kavanagh said this in the National Assembly while responding to questions from Popular Democratic Movement MP Nico Smit. Smit wanted to know why it was necessary for government to design and print new ID cards without informing the public and how much it would cost to acquire the new ID cards. This came after the minister announced that Cabinet approved the issuing of the new look IDs. Kavanagh said the only changes on the new ID cards are the removal of the fingerprint and the barcode on the reverse of the card, which will be replaced by a quick response code and a machine-readable zone, as well as the inclusion of new features that are in line with international best practices recommended by the International Civil Aviation Organization. Therefore, Namibia can consider the use of the new ID cards as travel documents with neighboring countries and make border crossing easier. Activists and lawmakers, including Namibia's Deputy Health Minister, have welcomed the first public parliamentary hearings on legalizing abortion since the country's independence, slated for this week. Her position has always been for people to be open to discuss any topic, whether it's abortion or whatever, because if people don't discuss issues and deliberate on them, how do we take any informed decision, she said on Friday. She added that while she was not informed of the scheduled hearing before the Parliamentary Standing Committee of Gender and Family Affairs this week, she welcomed the development. If there are public discussions and engagement, it is a good sign that we are moving in the right direction to help us as lawmakers to make informed decisions. A statement slated for presentations before the committee by the Voices of Choices and Rights Coalition stresses the fatal consequences of regulating women's choices on pregnancy. In Namibia, 500 preventable unsafe abortion mortality deaths are reported annually. Almost all preventable unsafe abortion-related deaths occur in the countries with restriction abortion laws, and Namibia is one of them. Standard Bank Namibia Holdings Chief Executive Marcia Gaises features in the 17th position on the list of 50 women CEOs leading corporate Africa. Africa.com undertook a rigorous research project to identify the women who run the largest and most complex businesses on the continent, and the result of this extensive research undertaking is the Africa.com definitive list of women CEOs. The list was compiled through deep research efforts to identify big businesses listed on one of Africa's stock exchanges and having a market capitalization of over $150 million, or a global publicly listed company with a market capitalization of over $50 billion and significant operations in Africa. She is grateful to the male and female leaders that nurtured her throughout her professional journey and recognized that we can only drive Africa's growth if we play our part in ensuring that the girl child rises to the occasion. She said they are knowledge workers and there should not be any reason for women to doubt their capabilities based on their gender. Through the work that they do at Standard Bank and the initiatives like the Africa.com definitive list of women CEOs, they amplify the message that it can be. Geises joined the bank in July 2016 as head of personal and business banking. She was responsible for the retail banking franchise, the largest division of the bank for 5 years before being appointed to her current role in May this year. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm joined with Quincy, and she was just announced as the winner of the 2021 Nedbank Capana finalist. How do you feel?
I feel very happy. First of all, I would like to thank you, God, who made this, and I put effort to doing this, and also my husband will support me so that I cannot go down, and I really make it on because of God.
How will this win change the future of your life?
This has really changed my future because normally I used to think to come up with the business, but I don't know how to start. First, I used to cook some kapane at home selling, but only end of the month to make some bread for my kids.
And Quincy, out of the 6 winners, professional and amateur, you're the only woman standing. How does that make you feel?
I feel proud that I can see now that the women now they can do anything, not only the men.
So I hope that next year you will join the professionals.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
And again, congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am joined with Rolf Hansen here from the Cancer Association once again. Rolf, thank you so much for your time.
Always a pleasure, and always wonderful to catch up with our subscribers, viewers and supporters of the Windhoek Express.
Oh, I always love talking to you. It's always so much fun. It's October, it's Pink Month. Tell us, I see there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of businesses involved in October. What do you have planned?
Yolanda and viewers, we are very excited that this year the Pink Month drive has actually taken great momentum. I think everyone is a bit tired after COVID. We're a bit battle fatigued, and people want to actually celebrate life. People want to hold hands, make a difference. And we see that a lot of corporate companies have actually come on board and started ordering pink ribbons, the beautiful pink masks that we've got. We designed a special pink mask for October this year. So if anyone wants to order any of those masks, they're very welcome to contact us. We've got pink t-shirts in stock, from pink feathers, keychains, key rings. It's all about making a difference in women's health and fighting breast cancer. We've started the month with the masks and roses, so it replaced the traditional hats with masks and roses, the first Saturday of October. And from there, every weekend there's going to be some sort of event or market. We're in malls, we have some events, get-togethers. Our volunteers and committees in Rehoboth is having one next weekend as well, and a small event down there as well. So despite the fact that COVID has placed a bit of a damper on the normal festivities, it's at least better than last year. And people are coming to the table and people are excited, and the women especially need this because, yes, breast cancer is on the increase globally, as is in Namibia.
What are the signs we need to look out for when we look at breast cancer?
So I think the most important thing is that every woman should do a self-breast examination every month, 7 to 10 days after your menstrual cycle. And that is primarily the time when your breast is sensitive, but it is also post the abnormal discharges that might accompany the menstrual cycle. And if there are, or it's the normal discharges, and if there are abnormal discharges then after, during that 7 to 10 days, then you will see there's swelling, there's bruising, there's a lump in the breast, orange peel of the breast, or the breast itself has hardened. Those are the very common signs. I want to also place emphasis on inverted nipples, because that's something people do not always know or talk about. When the nipple is pulling inwards, and then we also need to see if there's abnormal discharge or flaking of the nipples. If it's inverted nipple, flaking of the nipple, and when you press, actually you do the self-examination, you press and there is abnormal discharge, those three go in hand. And we see that even with boys as well, men as well. So yes, it is normal to have inverted nipples. It's very normal. I have inverted nipples myself. It is a matter of then looking, because for us who have got inverted nipples, we stand a higher chance of actually getting breast cancer. So that is something that we just need to take care of. And then also women who gave birth late, who never gave birth, women who did not breastfeed, also please look after that breast or breasts. And just take caution, because the women who did not give birth, who are going through abnormal hormonal changes, those are the ladies that are most susceptible to breast cancer as well.
Wow, that's very interesting. I am definitely going to do my breast exam, because I've just stopped breastfeeding after 14 months. And I think it's
very important. And even after giving birth, ladies, also at least 6 to 8 months after you've given birth, you need to go for a cervical examination, a pap smear again, because that is so very important. The two go hand in hand. After you've given birth, cervical examination, very important to ensure that the cervix is fine, that we haven't got abnormal lesions or growths, that everything is fine down there. And then from there, like you say, we start with the self-breast examination.
All of the data shows that ladies aged 40 to 49 is more susceptible to breast cancer. They can have a mammogram, and the mammogram can actually pick up something 2 years before a doctor or a self-examination can.
Yes. So during your change of life period, when the hormonal changes kick in 40 to 50 years, because of those hormonal changes, it can progesterone, estrogen levels that are completely out of sync at that stage would then contribute to a breast cancer or ovarian cancer also developing. Now, a mammogram or even a breast sonar can detect it. Unfortunately, in Namibia, the state healthcare system does not have a mammogram unit any longer. So if there are women out there who do need help or assistance, contact the Cancer Association. We do partner with great private organizations that give it to us at a reduced rate when it is a state patient. But also, if you can afford it, just go for your annual screening. I know there's a lot of women who are very afraid of a mammogram because it does hurt some women, especially the very small-breasted women or the very large-breasted women, because it's about squashing the breast into a confined space and trying to get a three-dimensional image, but also quality ultrasound breast sonars are very effective as well. So one can also go for that in the regions, and either one of the two would be beneficial.
What does the statistics look like in Namibia with regards to breast and ovarian cancer?
So right now, we still see on average 3,780 cancer cases in general diagnosed in the country. We see that breast cancer is on the increase. We see that cervical cancer is on the increase. And when we look at those two together, 54% of all cancer cases reported in Namibia are women-related cancers. So breast cancer is on the increase, cervical cancer is on the increase, lymphoma is on the increase, and Kaposi sarcoma also on the increase amongst women. So those are our top 4 cancers. We are fortunate that our Western cancers, lung and colorectal and all those typical lifestyle-related cancers are not yet rearing its head. In Namibia, the cancers that are most prevalent are actually preventable, treatable, curable. Yes, partially lifestyle, but it would be like cervical cancer that is HPV related, Kaposi sarcoma that is immune deficiency related, lymphoma as well. Breast cancer, in most cases hereditary in Namibia as well, we've picked up, especially amongst the Oshivambo community in the north of the country. So there's definitely a lot of work still to be done, but these are also cancers where if we can screen women effectively and timely, we can actually save lives.
It really needs to be addressed on government level to make sure that these health facilities are geared towards looking at not only because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but health in general.
Our biggest challenge, and it has been my biggest challenge since assuming the position as CEO 7-8 years ago, was to actually get the final policy framework through to make cancer a reportable disease in Namibia, to actually have a national cancer control plan. It's a document that governs and guides the policies on how cancer should be treated, from education, awareness, screening, detection, treatment, post-treatment, palliative, mental health care with regards to cancer. And this document has been forthcoming for almost a decade. The idea, the concept was started with my predecessor, and then when I came over, I was very passionate. I'm still very passionate about this document, and then I went to France and I did a master's in National Cancer Control Planning and Implementation, and this document served then as a blueprint. I brought it back to Namibia and I said, this is the document, the framework. We went through it, and I did this honorary master's to specifically address cancer control and implementation in the country. And we started with this document, and we had workshops and we had meetings, and unfortunately it all went quiet. And this is the problem that I personally have when politics becomes involved in healthcare matters. When it comes to policy and framework development, the politicians should just present in parliament or in cabinet meetings. They should just do what they have to do, but we should push as civil society, as the private community, but also obviously because the Ministry of Health and Social Services, it's their responsibility as custodians. When we push, they should address the topic, and they should actually say, okay, let's all take hands and move forward. This is unfortunately not happening in most African countries. But in the last 3 years, especially prior to COVID, we have seen a lot of tobacco control policy and framework. We have seen a lot of cervical and breast cancer programs. We have seen a lot of national cancer control programs that was implemented in the African continent. In Namibia, we're lagging behind.
Well, thank you so much. Good luck. I know it's a tall ask to fight against people who don't always listen, but thank you for the work that you do.
Always a pleasure. Anyone who wants more information, you're very welcome to contact the Cancer Association. We will try our best to answer your questions as best as possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back shortly. And for today's life hack, if you want to buy the cheapest airline tickets online, use your browser's incognito mode. Prices go up if you visit a site multiple times. And next up, Jeanette Diergaard for your Flex Minute.
Hi everybody and welcome back to Flex. I'm Jeanette Diergaard, your presenter for Flex, and today we will be focusing on stretches that you can do for your lower back. Now first of all, what will help with that is if you have really nice tight gluteus maximus. So let's go into a bridge pose and squeeze those glutes. This will help strengthen your glutes. It will definitely give that supporting muscle. So, you know, when you have lower back pain, at least you also have tight glutes. Okay, that's not how it works, but having nice and firm and strong glute muscles will help you with your lower back pain problems, depending on where it originates from and why it is occurring. Okay, and now we're going to go into a Sphinx stretch. So this one, another yoga movement. So a lot of yoga movements actually helps with a lot of stretches and a lot of pains. So this one, I want you to just go as far as you can go, lift your pelvis off and really stretch into that lower back. So you'll definitely feel that one, but go into it as far as you can go. But if a position hurts, then stop doing that or don't go too far. That brings us to the end of this one. I will see you guys next time.
Strike it gold and win 5,000 Namibian dollars in cash with Neo Paints. Simply buy Neo Paints products from the selected range and stand a chance to get one of 12 mystery buckets filled with gold paint. All 12 winners will each get 3 extra paint buckets equal to their purchase. One to replace the gold paint, the second to use on your project, and the third to give to a charity of their choice. One winner can score another 10,000 Namibian dollars by showing us your creative use of the golden paint. The best project wins the cash. Offer is valid from 27 September to 18 December at your favorite hardware store nationwide. Visit us at neopaints.com for more competition details and follow us on Facebook for weekly competition updates. Neo Paints, a coat of excellence.
That, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of our show. I hope you had fun. Please join us again tomorrow, same place, same time. Goodbye.